South Boston was fun, but as I said, it's time to get down to business. And like all good stories, we must start from the very beginning. As we come live here for the first time at the World Center of Racing Daytona International Speedway for qualifying for the 2025 PSRLA Daytona 500.
But again,
dirty. And we do have wow!
Oh no!
You gotta be kidding
Oh
me.
my goodness!
Hello everybody, my name is Alex Vitale, and yep, after South Boston and the win of Tom Sloan, we are finally here to get down to business for the first ever points paying race. Well, not really the first points paying race because that's gonna happen much more later, but this is still a super important event because this is qualifying for the Daytona 500. So yeah, it's still super important. Not to mention that while ratings are a thing in this in the series now, we are still super early in those, so this is still anyone's game. But one thing that is for sure is that today I am not alone. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the owner of Checker Flag Motorsport and Hugel Motorsport over at the World Cup Series, Hugel Alonso. How you doing, buddy?
Hey man, good to be back here, and of course you're, not just a Checker Flag Motorsports owner. Well, of course, this is my final year of my chairmanship here over at the PSRLA, but I'm very excited to see these drivers rolling up here at Daytona as we speak. And who knows, we're very excited since 42 drivers are going to be here in the field, so let's see how they're fare up. Of course, there's a couple of rookies, those who were driving last year in the Grand National Series and the Truck Series, but of course we're all going to discuss them later on as we continue with the qualifying.
And there's actually one driver that I really want to talk about, but of course we're going to talk about him a little bit later. I already talked about him a little bit with Frank in the South Boston, but yeah, we'll get there when we get there. But actually, come to think of it, isn't this the first race where the roles are swapped, where I am the lead commentator and you're the co-commentator?
Yeah, I guess so, but if you can count some if you can count some of the races, then yeah, heck yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so I think we should explain how qualifying works for the Daytona 500, and qualifying is going to be divided in two parts. The first part is divided. It's 20 minutes where every single driver will attempt and do a lap. And after those 20 minutes are up, the top 6 drivers will shoot it out for the will fight it out for the top spot for the front row of the race. Now, while the eventual first two drivers will start on pole and second in the 500, they would have to still go through the duels, and well, yeah, the duels are a completely different topic on its own right. But we're gonna take things one step at a time. So. But in case you understood, we're doing 20 minutes, then top 6, and then of course the duels, and then the main event, which should have a G time zones permitting.
Yeah, definitely right. So, of course, by the way, we haven't discussed this yet, but of course, during the duels, we're going to have the top 10. Each duel will actually earn points this time, so the winner will get 10 points, second 9, and then down to 10th with just 1 point. But of course, those points will be added up after the Daytona 500, so that's where you can see the complete point standings after that. But of course, very exciting weekend, very exciting storylines between the drivers, and even after the the drivers in Team Exodus, but of course, we're back in action right here at Daytona.
Now that's another topic that we're going to discuss during qualifying, but yeah, I think we talked about enough for this intro, so guess what? It's time not for racing, but it's time for qualifying. Alright, and we have our first driver coming out of the pits, that being Eric Monaco, as well as, Ryan Little. So, Ryan Little and Eric Monaco will be the first two drivers out.
Yeah, Eric Monaco, really excited to see him. I believe last year he made it into the playoffs for twice in a row, if I'm not mistaken. But good seeing him with a new sponsor on the hood right there.
Now we got Kyle Sostry, who actually did pretty well in the shootout, and actually all the silver racing cars made it into the main event. So. Yeah, really good show performance from the team of Frank Cooperus. But in the meantime, let's check out with Ryan Little, the guy who replaced the Skylar Taylor at the 75 for AG. Okay, there's now a lot of drivers coming out. There's Carrison out, there's Gutierrez out, there's Neely out, one of the Exodus one of the Exodus drivers from the Grand National Series. But there's like one driver from the Grand National Series, and Little is another driver from the Grand National Series, and he swapped dates with Darlington, if you remember that.
Yeah, totally. But of course, I'm really excited to see how Ryan Little, after being signed by RL Motorsports, will do here. I mean, Ryan Little, I know he did mediocre at the Grand National Series, but still can't stop rooting for him.
In the meantime, of course, these drivers are already sending lap times, but those are basically just their out laps. This should be a lap time. There we go, 50.0 for Little. Next should be, I think it's Monaco, 50.9 for Eric Monaco.
I think we should get it. We should see every driver in the list since these drivers are still clocking up at times. So let's go with Angel Gutierrez right there. He made it into the playoffs for the second year in a row via wildcards again. But maybe this time, I know Able Motorsports is a strong team here over at the PSRLA Cup Series, so I know Angel Gutierrez is going to make it into to the playoffs by the end of the year.
If anything,
what do you think about it?
If anything, Gutierrez should be like a super favorite for the big races like Darlington or Indianapolis, or even Daytona, because you know this guy has the knack of winning in big time races. Didn't we like he won the Indianapolis 250 over at AG's channel, and he won. Didn't we win at Darlington last year? Didn't we win at Darlington 2 years ago here?
I think it was Charlotte, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But of course, I totally forgot.
But in the meantime, there is Philip Torres signing the fastest signing, 48.8, and well, we mentioned him, so it's time to talk about Blaine Keys. I talked with Frank about him, but I want to ask the same thing to you. He's got to be like the super favorite for this season. I mean, we all know the numbers that he put up in the World Cup Series.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to do well, and a great signing, by the way, after moving from DM Motorsports, who closed their shop and sold their team points to every team possible. But hey, at least Blaine Keys went into a decent team. Behind him is his teammate, by the way, Carlos Stride.
We just scored the fastest lap right now, 48.2. Actually, no, never mind. Torres got the fast lap, 48.2 seconds. Where he is, there he is.
Ooh, looks like he's drafting the number 9 of Lauren Ayers right there. So he has more sports. I would like to discuss them. I mean, from transition from Forbes style of driving from Daytona Motorsports and Team Velocity and decide to own a team, do you think PS Motorsports can commit into a long-term goal after buying four chartered cars?
I mean, I don't think Stroessler would have signed this many cars if he had no plan. But yeah, I would assume that he's got a plan. He's got a plan. In the meantime, Guillermo with the fastest lap, 47.7, is one of your boys.
Damn. You know, actually, here's the thing with Garrett Movedel. We knew he kind of had talent, so that's why I know we had Aber Alford signed until 2025, but we decided to loan him out to Vision Motorsports, and I guess it's working pretty well in our favor.
Well, that's also the thing that Movedel did really well last year in the Canadian races. There goes starts trying the pits. Like he won, I think he finished second at Montreal in the National Series, and Stroop won Montreal in the World Cup Series, I'm sure, in the PSRLA Cup Series. But yeah, Movedel, that's another name to look forward to.
I think it was Montreal who won, and the runner-up finish at Troy Riviere.
Didn't win the Montreal? Wait, you guys race the Montreal?
Yeah, but I think he drove for Evans Ross Racing at that time.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he won that race.
Yeah, Montreal, yes.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, right now, he just was really good in the Canadian races. In the Canadian races, but in the meantime, let's talk about one of the brand new teams. Now that we're looking at Joshua Neely, as I said, one of the drivers from the Grand National Series, and OCS Racing from Greece. What can we say about them, apart from essentially being the source of the first drum of the season, where they turned Santa sponsor?
Well, initially they were unsponsored, but since they had a lineup with Joshua Neely and Scarlett Taylor, at least they received some offers from decent companies. But hey, well, at least OSC Racing are cooking right now, and I know Joshua Neely is about to cook after winning a couple races at PSRLA Truck Series, albeit some scenarios such as rain whatsoever, especially in Bristol.
Did I say Grand National Series? Yeah, I apologize. But in the meantime, the 58 of
Taylor, yes.
what was the 58?
Here's your winner, by the way, of the
Taylor. Taylor is the leader right now. Is on top. 47.5. Then is Carrison in second. Then Johnson in third. One of my boys.
Look at that gap there.
Yeah.
Just 1/1000th of a second.
Yeah, that's nuts. This is so tight.
I know, right? But hey, looking at the 2023 winner of the Daytona 500, Bradley Reed, he's currently at, I don't know where.
He is in 24th.
24th.
Not very good right now.
Yeah, but hopefully Bradley Reed can cook something out there, because he made into the playoffs 7 years in a row. But of course, the team retained Monaco and Reed for their lineup, so I know they can do something about it. Here's Nathan Stapleton, by the way. Finally won his first ever PSRLA Cup Series race at Chicago. So glad that Benny or Alex kept Nathan Stapleton for their lineup for a third year in a row. So what do you think about Nathan Stapleton's performance last year?
Nice. It was actually pretty. It was pretty decent. I mean, outside of jinxing him for the Daytona 500 last year, I think he did really good. So then now that we are already serious, I think he's gonna be. I would say he's one of the super favorites for this year. There goes D'Amelio. Maybe let's see if he's not going to field. That looks like he's not. But yeah, Stapleton, that's easily one of my other big time favorites alongside Keys and Fair. Many of the drivers that already have experience in the rating series should be super favorites. For example, there is another guy that also did well, actually, before we talk, let's go to Sam Oskin, because this wasn't supposed to car he was supposed to drive in. Actually, he wasn't even supposed to drive in.
Yeah, because Alex Fink violated the rule book already. If you really get the really rule book, so that's why we had him kicked out. So since he uh, he agreed to to join this ratings-based series, but when it comes to failing out ratings, and he didn't leave the server, so Alex Fink is banned for a year. So good thing there is Sam Hoskin is back, after driving for Time Fury Racing, which just closed. Right now driving here over at the PS Motorsport, so let's see if he can cook something.
And alongside him is another one of the new teams, Williamson Racing. We're looking at Carson Miller. He actually did pretty well as well in the South Boston Shootout. South Boston. Yeah, it was the Shootout South Boston, but Arizona State Shootout. But issue about South Boston. But what can we say about them? About the Williamson Racing?
Williamson Racing, Sebastian Kang. Well, never heard of him in any series at all, so I didn't really know what to say about him.
Well,
but as for Carson Miller, he won the Lenovo Pro Series, so I know he's cooking, and also he's driving for my team in a couple of races already in the First Sprint Series, so yeah, I know he will do pretty well with this unknown team.
In the meantime, the top 10 figures have shifted all that much. I mean, Taylor's still leading. Second is Harrison. Then, actually, never mind. Number 20 is in third place. Not that just anymore. That's Haley. That's Ali Anderson Jr. in third. Then it's Hunter Mendoza and one of the other Williamson cars. Then is Anker Gutierrez, Johnny Johnson, the 97 of Tanner Parton, or Panner Tartan. I'm sorry, but I had to. I'm sorry, but I had to. Then we get Mo Vidal, Zay Davidson, and Blaine Keys in the top 10. Sastra, in the meantime, goes back into the pits. But
let's look at the pack there at the behind.
What?
Yeah, let's look at the pack right behind. Here's the 51 of who was that?
Zay Davidson.
Oh, Zayden Davidson. Yeah, Zayden Davidson had a couple of runs over the AGD channel, so he does have a talent. So I guess when Celebritas Racing pick him up, I think it's pretty much a good decision for them.
Actually, was it full time in the Haas IndyCar series last year?
Not really sure. I didn't follow much of the Haas IndyCar series last year.
I'm pretty sure it was, but anyway, and there's another driver that we should be taking a look at. That is Cap Silver, the guy that showed himself to the world in the Tokyo Truck Series last year by coming to play out of nowhere, and now he's here in the PSRLA Cup Series.
Yeah, well, Vision Motorsports decided to fill the fourth entry here by the name of Cap Silver, so I'm pretty sure their lineup here at Daytona 500 is pretty much just stacked up here. So we have 6 minutes and 32 seconds remaining here. Well, let's see if we can have time to discuss everyone here. Let's go back to Trevor Blumstringer.
Yeah, that's
96.
Yeah, another one of your boys.
Yeah, welcome back, man. I mean, we haven't seen him last year, pretty much. But now he's back in the Cup. As well as Brandon Bill in the 67, yes.
Yeah, actually, come to think of it, there's another driver that I want to talk about. If he is in the field right now, I don't think he is. Actually, there he is, Andrew Williams. The guy that is replacing possibly the main reason why Keys did not win the World Cup Series last year, that being Ludovic Charette.
Yeah, Ludovic Charette. Actually, he was actually signed potentially by us, but we decided to terminate it after leaving the server. But hey, it kind of look at the 50. No sponsors at all. Look at that, and then that Senti Messi. Well, I know for a reason that he breaches some of the PSRLA Cup Series rules, or internally something. I have no idea, and we don't want.
I mean, the one thing that
know why.
one thing that is weird about Messi is the fact that even as no sponsor, he still has like the colors. I mean, it's not completely white. I mean, he still has the base of the Celsius sponsor he was supposed to carry. But yeah, that's a bit of a weird decision.
Yeah, definitely. How about this? The 52 of Zachary Fitzwater. Well, he's back with Durant Racing, and he won one race. I think that was Phoenix. Yeah, the 52 with the Wilson security sponsor.
Yeah,
but
not to mention that he also won one of the first heat of the shootout, and also won the All-Star Race of Foxborough.
Yeah. So really excited to see him. I know he's going to, retire from the NR Worlds after 2026. So I guess it's time for an appreciation tour for him.
Well, okay, hold on a second. We have a bit of a problem right there. The image might be stopped, but it's all going on. Don't worry about it. We're good. Sorry, apologies for the technical issues. Apologies. But anyway, we're talking about Zachary Fitzwater. Where we talk about Bruno. Actually, no, I'm going to talk about Bruno de Oliveira. This guy.
Yeah, Bruno. Interesting signing, by the way, for Appalachian Motorsports. At least Appalachia decided to stay, unlike some other teams.
Not to mention that the guy was on a part-time, was racing on the PSRLA Cup Series on a part-time basis. But the things that he showed, those runs were impressive. I
know, right, man. That's why Appalachian Motorsports decided to pick him up. Here's the 41 of your defending PSRLA Cup Series champion, Jeffrey Fingai.
Yeah, Jeffrey Fingai.
41.
Yeah, honestly, if there's one guy that wants to defend this championship more than anyone, that's gotta be Fingai, because we all know that he won the championship because the season was cut short. So, of all the drivers in this field, he's probably the most motivated to prove that he would have won it regardless of the season being cut short or not.
Yeah, we heard him said that before.
But
so,
in the meantime, there's another driver to talk about, no bias, of course, and that is Danny Johnson. He raced part-time in the Grand National Series. Actually raced both the trucks and the Grand National Series. He raced in the cars where Denis Khrushchev was. He was the main driver for Webb Racing Enterprises in the Grand National Series. But when he was busy with the truck series, he was replaced by Denis Khrushchev. But yeah, now he's got. I signed him for Aegis. To be fair, he wasn't my first pick. He was Nim Marinacci was my first pick to replace Trey Smith. But unfortunately, Cody Smart was faster than I was, so I had to settle for Danny. I mean, okay, said like this sounds like that. I signed him against my will, but no, I honestly believe in Danny, and I hope that he's gonna do well. Speaking of drivers that actually did well last year, Bruno Di Giacomo, another one of my drivers for Aegis, basically took over the car that I was supposed to drive until I took over Aegis, and he actually he's been he really was impressive last year. He cleared the win at Darlington.
Oh yeah, and debut wins while driving for Airline Motorsports to be considered as well.
Oh yeah, sure. Oh yeah. Didn't he drive? He drove the Barilla car for Arlington Austin, did he?
Yeah, and won with it.
In the meantime, 1 minute remaining, and looks at the top 10 is pretty much set. So Miss Skylar Taylor is the leader. Then is Jonathan Garrison. Then it's Hallie Anderson Jr., Hunter Mendoza, Andy Gutierrez, Danny Johnson, Bruno Di Giacomo, and then it's the 23 of what was the 23 again? Oh, Avery Alford. The 97 Lieutenant Pardon, and then the 50 of Santi Messi. That actually, come to think of it, top 10 for Messi for a sponsor car. That's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, considering everything. I mean, this pack is probably the fastest of all things considered here. But yeah, as we are almost finished right there, so let's look at the other guys in the field for quick time. And you know, let's see if we can catch up into Duncan Ward in the 55.
Actually, where is he? I think there is. There's one award. Scottish wrecking ball. I think he called it. He called his manager. The manager called him. I think.
Yeah.
But,
I guess so.
But yeah, what can we say about Duncan Ward?
Duncan Ward is a fast driver, and he's great, and probably the meme lord, or should we say? Yeah, we know he's a rookie, but he's a meme lord.
I'm going to assume that he's a good driver, but of course, actually, he's signed for the World Cup Series. He's one of the charter rides.
Yeah, and here we go. So the session is, officially over. So these drivers are more likely, of course, than it is. So now let's look at the full standings, seeing which is the entire 6 drivers that are going to make it into the single car qualifying. So of course, 58 Scarlett Taylor leads the way, followed by the 44 of Jonathan Carrison. Then
drivers to your cars.
Wait, hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so
yeah.
well, apologies, but yeah, Scarlett Taylor is going to be is starting on pole position for the top 6 shootout. Then we got Jonathan Carrison in second, then it's Holly Anderson Jr. in third, Hunter Mendoza in fourth, Franco Gutierrez is fifth, and Danny Johnson runs up the top 6. That's actually a really good performance from Danny, even despite the fact that he didn't do his ratings for in South Boston.
Yeah, I know, right? So of course, these 6 drivers will battle it out for pole later after this one for the single car qualifying shootout. So of course, we're going to start with Danny, then Angel, then Hunter Mendoza, then Holly Anderson, Jonathan Carrison, and then finally Scarlett Taylor. But of course, as you can see, odd numbered cars will be on duel number 1. And of course, starting lineup will be based on, odd numbered. Of course, the position that you have will be the duel 1, and of course the even numbered cars will be in the duel. Even numbered positions will be on duel 2. So let's see the rest of the results right there.
So Bruno Di Giacomo will be in 7th, 8th is Ari Alford, 9th is Tanner Pardon, 10th is Santi Messi, that is Modell, Davidson, Keys, Silver, Salstry, Marinacci, Fitzwater, Stapleton, Oscan, and the Oliveira in the top 20.
Yeah, so the rest of the results right there, as you can see in the screens right there. So yeah, that's basically it. So again, the reminders are that even numbered cars will be in duel number 2, and then duel number 1 for odd numbered. So Brody Giacomo will start 4th in the duel 1, and then Avery Alport will start 4th in duel 2. Tara Pardon will start 5th in duel 1. Santi Messi will start 5th in duel 2, and so on and so forth. So I guess it's time for us to proceed with the single car qualifying for the top six guys, starting with Danny Johnson. We'll be right back here.
There goes our first driver of the top 6 shootout, Danny Johnson. He started 6th, and he will start in 1st because it's in reverse order. And the first lap they're going to clock will be the official time. So of course they're going to do the first lap of the first banker lap, and then of course the actual lap. But in the meantime, of course I shouldn't say much because he's one of my boys, so I should show bias. But I really hope that he finishes in the top 2.
Yeah, of course, definitely. If you finish in the top 2 here, you're pretty much locked up So no matter what happens in duels, you're still going to start inside the top 2 if that's the case. But of course now he's entering to turn number 4. Look at this speed meter right there. He's going to cross in the start finish line with 176. So let's see where he's going to stop right there from going to turn 1, 179. Can he reach 180? And no.
No,
Just
it's
179.
stuck at 179, but he's definitely going to hit it once he hits the back stretch. At least I hope he does. There he goes, 180 into the back stretch. Very, very long back. Maybe the super stretch. There's some more. 181 into 3. There he is. 180.
What, he goes down 179 right there coming out of turn 4. 178. Can he cross 180 or 181 going to start finish line? And he's gonna clock in
49.9.
909 seconds. Wow, what a lap there. So now let's go to our second driver of the day, which is the number 45 of Angel Gutierrez.
And goes out Angel Gutierrez, our second driver of the top 6. Well, actually, he's in 5th, but again, reverse, so he's starting second. We've already talked about him enough, so let's see what is he going to do in the shootout.
Yeah, pretty much Angel Gutierrez, you know, he's a very exciting driver from Mexico, so, you know, honestly, I hate him yapping around every time, and every, you know, opportunity possible, but hey, he's going to enter now the turn number 4 with high speed. Can he reach 179, 180 to the line?
I think, yeah, maybe even going a little bit faster. 181 at the line, so begins his lap. 182 and 183 into turn 1. That's a lot. That's definitely a lot more faster than Johnson was. 182 into 1 and 2. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be faster than Johnson, unless some shenanigans happen, but I doubt it. 182, 183 entering the backstretch. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be faster. 184. That's definitely gonna be faster than Johnson's time. So he should have provisional pole right now. 184 into 3 and 4.
He's definitely going to eye for 186 to the line. Or at least, yeah, probably 186 or 185, I would say.
And no,
And
184, and it's going to be 48.8, almost basically a full second faster than Johnson.
yeah, so right now he's on provisional pole. So now let's go to the next driver, shall we?
That driver being Hunter Mendoza. And through goes the third car of the list, Hunter Mendoza, one of the new drivers for Williams and Racing. And what can we say about him?
For the team, not much. For the driver, nah.
Yeah, for Mendoza here is a complete unknown for both of us. Actually is, but yeah, I mean, both Mendoza and I think Anderson actually is signed up for the Series 4 AG. Hasn't he?
I think they never did. If I'm sure they never did.
I'm
I'm not even sure if.
Not talking about.
I'm not even sure if.
But I'm not talking about Mendoza. I'm talking about Ali Anderson.
Now I'm curious now. But 173, not good.
Yeah, that's
Not good.
Yeah, that's gonna be super slow. 176 hitting turn 1. That's not gonna be a good time in the slightest. 176 hitting the back. 175 coming out of 2 and entering the back stretch. 176. Yeah, this is gonna be definitely the slowest time. I mean, I know I shouldn't talk ill about anybody, but I feel like this is probably going to be the last of the top 6.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, undersized team, pretty much a new team, and not much of an expectation to them, and he's gonna cross the line 107 177 and
50.8.
50.850.
Jeez.
Not good.
Not good.
That's why I don't have any
all.
expectation with this team.
Wow, that's almost what 2 seconds slow. No, that's full-blown 2 seconds slower than Gutierrez time and 1 second slower than Johnson. So, yeah, not a good look.
Yeah, now I guess it's time for us to proceed with the 20 of Hallie Anderson Jr.
And through goes the next driver on the list, Harley Anderson Jr., one of the rookies for Solidus Racing, and one of the drivers that made it onto the main event. But again, as I said, all the Solidus car made to the main event here at South Boston. So, yeah, and he actually was pretty impressive. I think he did. I don't remember if he actually made it for the main event through the heats races or for the last chance qualifying races, but from what he showed, that's pretty impressive. But naturally, it's a short track. This is a super speedway, so yeah, completely different fields.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see if Hallie Anderson Jr. can say something about his their performance here as they're gonna enter turn 4 with high speed like there, and looks like it's gonna be at least 5th because 181 to the line.
Oh, that's definitely promising. 183 into turn 1, 184 into 1 and 1 and 2, 183. Let's see the speed he has coming out of the backstretch, coming in the backstretch. Let's say more. Coming out of turn 2 into the backstretch, and it's going to be 184, maybe 185. I want to say 185.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, he's going to be one of the fastest guys.
Yeah. No matter what happens to these drivers, I'm pretty sure they are going to go at least 5th. They're going to beat Hunter Mendoza no matter what.
I mean, the only way you cannot beat Hunter Mendoza if your car fails. But in the meantime, across the line goes Anderson, and it's going to be 48.7, and he's got provisional pole.
Wow, he beat out Angel Gutierrez to the line there. Very exciting to see these drivers doing pretty well. But now we're heading into the last 2 drivers there, so let's go with another Able Motorsports car of Jonathan Carrison.
And through goes Jonathan Carrison, the driver who was one of the many drivers of Daniel Boyce Racing before, well, that happened. We all know, we are all familiar with that one. But now he should be in a much more stable position at Able Motorsports, so let's see what he's going to do in qualifying, or at least in top 6 shootout.
Very exciting to see this driver, after being, having a dismal season from 2023 to 2024, but after being signed by Able Motorsports, looks like he's going for some sort of resurgence.
And he's driving Jaden Russell's car, and Russell, I think, actually, he had a pretty good year in 2024, if I remember correctly. But regardless, and that looks like it's going to be a slow time, possibly one of the worst. 183 at the line. Timer starts now, and yeah, this is not going to be a good lap. Yeah,
Definitely not a good lap right there, but I'm sure with technology right there, he's more likely going to at least get a 5th, better than Hunter Mendoza in the process.
We'll see about that. 178 at the halfway part of the backstretch, and 178 into 3 and 4. I think it's probably going to be even slower than Mendoza. If not, it's going to be very, very close.
Yeah, out of turn 4 with right there. 177, more likely going to be 178 at least.
And he is 50.7. That 50.7. That's super close.
Yeah, that's good for fifth. And with that, we're going to have Scarlett Taylor. But good news here is Haley Anderson Jr. is now guaranteed at the front row. And now here's your final driver, Scarlett Taylor in the 58, driving for OSC Racing. So as of right now, well, imagine if his teammate is, of course, his teammate, number 57, Joshua Neely, going to start 15 in Duel 2. And then him, let's see if he can make it into the pole. But all I can say right now is Haley Anderson Jr. is already clinched. He has already clinched front row start. But right now, Angel Gutierrez is on the hot seat right now because it really depends on the result of Scarlett Taylor's qualifying run. If he's going to start in the front row, he's going to lock himself into the pole for second duel, or will Scarlett Taylor will steal it away from him? It really depends though with Scarlett Taylor's last run with his run.
Actually, come to victory, Taylor wasn't supposed to run because didn't he have didn't Taylor have a contract with OEM? But then some shenanigans that we're not going to explain happened.
Oh yeah, I know something happened over there.
I mean, Herjo and I assume a lot of you who are in AG's server know what happened. But yeah, Taylor wasn't even supposed to be here, but Taylor was picked up by BB Ruiz for the 58 car. So looks like just the fact that Taylor made it into the top 6, looks like they're going to take that opportunity. In the meantime, let's see, through turn 2 for the banker lap. But yeah, imagine if Taylor actually ends up being like one of the super favorites for the not for the championship, because that would be absurd, but for the Daytona 500.
Scarlett Taylor, he kind of had a good run while running for More Sports during season 2024 season. So let's see if Scarlett Taylor can cook something about it. Let's see as he comes turn number 4. Coming steaming 176, 77. Is this pretty much good for fourth? Let's see.
Yep, that's what's the leaks look? That at least looks maybe on par with Johnson. Around the same speed, if not 1 mile per hour slower. But I think they should be around the same times at the same speed of Johnson. But actually, we will see what's going to happen. 170, 180 coming into the backstretch. 181.
Yeah, looks like Angel Gutierrez is jumping in for joy now as he's going to lock himself into the front row. As well as Haley Anderson Jr. as we speak.
I mean, that would be really impressive for Anderson. I mean, Gutierrez not so much, but for Anderson, that would be really, really impressive. But there goes Taylor into the tri-oval, and 182 at the line, and it's going to be 49.5. I think that should be third.
Yeah, very impressive. And there you go. Haley Anderson Jr. wins the pole for the Daytona 500. And as well as, Angel Gutierrez will start second.
So, top 6 shootout is done, and that was actually we've seen some pretty impressive runs.
Yeah, definitely. But of course, at least with this top 6 run, we got to see how fast are these cars during the single car qualifying. But of course, during the course of the season, we're also going to see what would happen next into some of the drivers if they enter inside the top 6. But now let's discuss the starting lineup or the results first. Of course, Haley Anderson Jr. won the pole for the Daytona 500, and alongside him is Angel Gutierrez, going to start second. That's the front row lock right there. And then, of course, the rest of the results will be determined by,
By the duels.
by the duels. So, of course, then, yeah, from 3rd to 36 will be determined by duels, and then 37, 38, 39, 48 will be determined by qualifying speed. And then, there you go. Then, for the first sport, second will not qualify, but of course. Third is Scarlett Taylor. Fourth was Jonathan Carrison.
Yeah, Jonathan Carrison. Then it was Denny Johnson in 5th, and then well, a frankly really terrible time. Hunter Mendoza 50.8, and by just this time alone, that automatically makes him possibly almost at DNQ. That almost feels like it's basically a DNQ.
Yeah, right there. With Scarlett Taylor being the only must qualify driver in the duel number 1, because that's how it turns out. So now, here's the thing. Here's going to be the interesting thing with the duel. So Scarlett Taylor's finishing results will be determined if he's going to qualify to the Daytona 500 or not. But of course, in the duel number 2 for these drivers that are in the must qualify situations, whoever finishes last of all of them will definitely not qualify. And then the second driver that will not qualify will be determined via Scarlett Taylor's finishing position. So, for example, if Scarlett Taylor finishes 18th, and then the first driver that did not qualify finishes 21st or dead last in duel 2. So, if Scarlett Taylor driver second to the last, which is in the must qualify situation, must finish higher than 18th if they want to qualify for the Daytona 500. But we'll determine that once the duels are done.
And with that, I think we're done for today. So, that was qualifying for the Daytona 500 qualifying and the top 6 shootout for the Daytona 500. And from us, Alex Navidal and Hirjo Alonso, it's goodbye. See you at the duels.